and Kamal go first. Our FBA's on the panel. But nevertheless, are we erasing slavery? This is probably going to be the spiciest one yet. I'm going to start by playing this very first clip regarding the topic of the night. Okay, here we go.
And we want people to talk about it, including our museums. Why is he equating talking about slavery with woke?
Well, look, I think, let me just start this conversation by saying that my personal view is slavery was a reprehensible institution. I agree with your words that it was our original sin. We also fought a war to eradicate it and to get over it as a country. And that was a necessary thing that happened, and a lot of people died, and we did eradicate it, and that's a good thing. I think what he's asking is, in our museums, what defines us? Are we going to be defined by the worst moment or the worst institution or the worst mistake we ever made? Or are we going to be defined by what we've done moving forward to get over it and to become the greatest nation on the earth? My belief is that he wants to look at these museums, not because he wants to do away with the idea that slavery occurred, but that he wants to ask a very simple question. Are we going to present ourselves as being exceptional or not? And I think he believes there is an effort by some to continue to try to define us from our worst moment instead of to try to focus and define us based on our best moments, which started when we eradicated slavery and began to move forward as the light of the world. And so that's what I think.
Museums, that's what makes us an exceptional nation, is because they tell the history and the story of our country, and therefore, you know, these horrible, horrific moments in our history. The original sin, as Abby talked about, when it comes to slavery, has, you know, we of course did eradicate it, but look where we've come today. And I think those museums, like to your point, make America exceptional, and in museums all around the world that document atrocities, whether it be, you know, from Nazi.
All right, guys. So we had to start swinging on the panel. Gray said this was the topic he was most interested in. I'm going to let him go first.
Well, what I'll say basically, like, white people are getting tired of being called racist. So I think Trump did run on racism. And if you want to call it reverse racism or whatever, he basically ran on, like, white people are sick of the guilt tripping. We're tired of hearing this. CRT here in Florida. So, like, I'm pretty sure we always hear black people talk about that uncomfortable situation when they will talk about slavery in school, but they don't talk about how white people feel about it. So Trump tapped into that, you know, white people are sick of hearing about the guilt tripping.
Yeah, but they don't teach slavery right in schools. Kamal, what do you think? Do you think that you were taught about slavery right in schools? Like, what do you think about what you were taught about it?
All I was taught was, hey, they brought some people over on some boats and y'all picked cotton. That was it. Then we just magically got out of slavery. Hey, one day the slave owners was like, we tired of y'all being slaves. We just gonna let y'all be free.
Yes.
That was it.
Or that they fought a war to end slavery. Like, that was the real reason, and not financial things, which is the truth about it.
Yeah, that was it. You feel me? This is my thing, right? First of all, how about we teach the slave revolts when we were whooping their ass? How about that? I like to see more stories like that. You think every slave was just sitting there like, oh, we love just being slaves. Oh, we're just gonna take. No, some of us like, man, fuck this. We're gonna whoop his ass. And if we die, we at least dying as a man or a woman, like Harriet Tubman. That's my thing. It's like, okay, the Smithsonian, they want to stop the slave. Okay, let's scratch that, redo, and let's have some more black empowerment. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of learning about slavery where we getting our ass whooped and all types of shit. And then all of a sudden, the honky-nears, because that's what they were. Not all white folks is honkies, but they was some damn honkies. And they was the one day they saying, oh, we just got tired of the free labor and y'all picking cotton and blah, 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 blah. No, let's be real. Y'all seeing we was whooping ass. And it was like, God damn. And then the union was like,
saw what was happening in Jamaica, Kamal. Talk about that too. You got to note that too. They saw that they was going to take over Jamaica. I don't know if you know that. That's part of why slave was part of all of that. That's why slavery ended in Jamaica and the the Caribbean, because of Britain got scared.
Yeah, they was revolting and shit. And then at the end of the day, the Union and the Confederates was fighting, right? The Union was like, hey, you Confederates making too much goddamn money. Hold on now. And Abraham Lincoln was like, look, I'm trying to keep the Union together. What happened? The Confederates, they was whooping the Union's ass, beating their ass. And then the Union, Abraham Lincoln was like, God damn, man, we getting our ass whooped. We need some help. They went over to us Black Americans, like, hey, can you help us out? Like, we need some help, man, for real. And we was like, all right, we want our freedom. We want a damn mule. We want 40 acres. And we want that $100 you said you wanted to give us. At first, I know the Union was like, can we just give you a mule? We got to really let y'all be free and give y'all money. Come on. We just sat back and watched them get their ass whooped some more. And they were like, you know what? Yeah, y'all could get y'all freedom, a mule, $100, all that shit. While they was talking to each other, like, we not going to give them no goddamn $100 or a mule or that 40 acres. We give them the freedom, but all that other shit, we just not going to give it to them. We just don't keep saying, hey, we'll give it to you later. That's what happened. You feel me? I like to hear more stories like that when it comes to slavery and the Smithsonian shit. And at the end of the day, look, they already been teaching us slavery bullshit wise anyway. That's why we got to teach our own. That's just how I feel about it. But hey,
Mia, what do you think?
Nobody asked the Native Americans to get over what happened to them. Nobody asked the Jews to get over what happened to them. Nobody asked anybody else in this country, in our history, to get over something but us. Why are Black Americans the only ones that have to get over something? And when I say get over, I mean, nobody tells the Native Americans, you can't talk about that. We're pulling it out of school. We're doing this. Why is it always us? They make us the villain in the media. They make us the villain all the time. And now they don't even want to teach it adequately. Most people don't even, it would be different. Sorry, this is my puppy. It would be different if they taught history adequately. If they taught people like, oh, they were cutting our limbs off, they were gouging our eyes, and they were making lampshades out of us way before that ever happened to the Jews. Marie Laveau was doing that down in New Orleans. They were using us as alligator bait, which is incredibly uncomfortable, taking Black babies and throwing them into the water to get alligators. But they don't teach it adequately. I understand the largest immigration boom in America happened during the Reconstruction era. So we're thinking 1880s and forward. So the majority of Caucasian people or white people in this country had nothing to do with it. And I get that. And I can understand with them being uncomfortable with hearing about something that their family did not participate in. However, just because your family didn't participate in it doesn't mean my family has to stop talking about it. That's not fair to me. I don't think we should be erasing slavery. I'm not saying it has to be blasted everywhere. I don't agree with people saying slavery as a way to get one up on a Caucasian person or say, oh, that's the reason why my family's not doing well. No, babe, it's 2025. Your family's not doing well because they didn't apply themselves. However, at the same time, why should my family have to pretend that nothing happened to them to make your family more comfortable? That's not fair to me. We need to have a compromise somewhere. And I don't know quite where that looks like, but my family shouldn't have to be silent so your family can eat dinner comfortably.
So I'm going to play the next clip and then I'll let the rest of the panel respond. So this is the counter argument as to why it should be changed.
Which is very solemn, and I think we all understand that, and we are all looking for the common ground here. And so what I'm about to say, I don't mean in any way to negate that tone, but starting around 2011, 2012, sociologists started to notice a shift in white liberal opinion polling to where white progressives became more extreme in their views on race than Black and Hispanic Americans. And they called this, the sociologists did, called it the Great Awakening. And when they postulated, where did this come from? Why did white progressives suddenly start obsessing over race in a way that was actually far to the left of where Hispanic and Black Americans were on this issue, they found that the media had shifted radically how it talked about these issues. So for example, in 2010, the words white supremacy were mentioned 75 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times.
But the media is different from museums.
In 2020, the words white supremacy were mentioned 700 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times and 2,400 times in NPR. The word racism, 4,000 times in 2020. The words white and racial privilege from 2013 to 2019 grew by 1,500% in the New York Times and the Washington Post. And the word slavery itself exponentially skyrocketed as a percentage of words. I'm offering this only to suggest.
I understand. I'm just
to
wondering
suggest that.
what do you think is the problem with talking about slavery, white supremacy, racism, et cetera?
So the point I'm trying to make here is that liberals will say, well, this is a reflection of reality. But of course it isn't. This is a reflection of a newfound obsession that was driven by the media, and that doesn't reflect either the moral evil of these things or the historical accuracy.
I do want to dive into what you mean by that, because you say that you don't think it's a reflection of reality. Based on what?
Well,
based on the idea that those things don't exist, that white supremacy doesn't exist, racism doesn't exist, that we shouldn't be talking about it anymore?
Based on the idea, obviously all these things I think are evil, but there's not more slavery now to the tune of
I think part of the problem.
1,500%.
All right, so Enzo, as the Italian, I don't know, white, almost white person on the panel.
The resident
Spicy
white man on the
white.
panel for
The
this. Spicy white.
Spicy white.
European.
What are your thoughts on her points? I mean, she brings up good things. I mean, the point is, I do think President Trump just wants it to be a more positive perspective. And I can see that. But at the same time, can we erase history? What do you think?
No, from somebody who loves every aspect of the United States, from the inception until we are now, we shouldn't be erasing history whatsoever. We should be teaching history the correct way. Because it's either we glorify one side or we demonize the other side. We never get in that middle and say, when it comes down to anything that's happened in American history, we don't look at it in an aspect of this is what happened, the bad, this is what happened, the good, and this is the middle ground that came out of this. We recognize the bad, we recognize the good, but this is how we got here today. And when it comes down to the Smithsonian, I can speak about when I went to DC and I went to the Smithsonian for the Holocaust and everything like that. I don't agree with how it's portrayed, because it just shows American excellence in a time where the United States really didn't have that much to do with it. They pretty much, what I seen there was America stopped the Nazis, America stopped the Holocaust and everything like that. When you actually read the history about it, it's completely the opposite. The Americans barely had any hand in it. It was more the Russians. So they need to fix it all together with how they're teaching things. Schools absolutely do not teach the Civil War, slavery, and everything like that. And I don't care about people saying white guilt, white guilt, white guilt. At the end of the day, this is what happened in America. We should just learn from it so things like this don't happen again. Like, I didn't agree years ago with them taking down Confederate statues at all, because yes, they were bad people. We acknowledge that. I'm not going to be ashamed by the Confederates and slavery and everything like that. I'm going to acknowledge that they are bad, but I'm going to sit here and say, we need to learn about this so these extremes don't come about again. Because the second that you just wipe it away, like I used the example of Germany the other day, they don't teach what happened in the 40s. They're literally just like, oh, bad man came into power and this is what happened, but we're not going to talk about any of it. They're ashamed of their history. We shouldn't be ashamed of it. We need to teach it correctly. And that's it.
Hey,
Angel, do you think we
something?
shaded you?
I didn't hear it. There was two people at once.
Do you think we shaded you? Because there's some white tea person in the chat that says we clown on you. We don't treat you right.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Can I say
Go ahead.
It always surprises me when Enzo start talking about race, somebody in the chat starts saying, we're racist. Y'all biased. It never fails. every time Enzo starts talking about race and he's talking about it logically, people in the chat just start saying bullshit. They just be in the chat, y'all a racist panel. Y'all are biased. Oh, he don't know what he talking about. I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's only when Enzo started talking about race. That shit is confusing as fuck to me.
That means we're doing something right. Come on.
Correct.
Like,
that means we're doing something right.
That shit is crazy. And then I will have to say one last thing. I haven't had a chance to clown somebody in the chat. So now Zeno Gears X, you will be the lucky person. Said loser with the Cash App. The only loser is you letting your pet turtle give you a rim job. Now, anybody else could go talk. And there we go.
Velma, what's your thoughts on that clip? Do you believe that the woke left has taken over the conversation? Do you think that that should be even a part of, changing the museum? Or do you think that Trump may have found something about the museum that he didn't like, and now he's basically cracking down on the way they handle things?
Teach history the way it is, not the way that, they want to paint everybody as such a victim mentality. If it bleeds, then it leads. So if you continue to have, for example, the BLM, what's happening right now with the Hispanic community, it's the same thing, the same tactic. So honestly, talk about it, but at the same time, don't see yourself as a victim or part of, like, that you're a victim. Because like Maya said, we live in 2025. Yes. But at the same time, you have to see that you've overcame where you're the victor. You're not the victim. That's all I have to say.
Skeptic, what's your thoughts?
I'm just gonna say the chat's going crazy right now.
Well, were you there that night with? Yeah. Remember that night with Castle when they're like reporting, mass reporting? Don't walk. Be careful when you walk to your car.
The chat, y'all are going crazy right now. Y'all got me rolling over here. I can't even pay attention. What was I gonna say? Somebody once said on a live, they were like, whoever has the power gets to manipulate history. So history has been manipulated. American history has already been manipulated. Someone was saying, we don't know about Nat Turner, who was he revolted and was unaliving YT people. So like, we don't hear about that. Gabriel Prosser, we don't hear about these, the people that were actually fighting. And again, were we winning? They would go into the woods and they would come out and they were like terrorizing the YT Southerners. So like, history has already been whitewashed. We haven't heard about how they were making furniture out of people, how they were unaliving children. Like, we don't hear these things. So what you see in these museums is the nice version of the history that happened. So it's crazy to me to hear them say, oh, we need to change it again, because I'm from the South and I heard the stories. And here's the thing. If you're from the South, and for all those people in the chat saying like, oh, it's been 200 years. Come on now. We have to be honest. We have to understand that Jim Crow happened. Segregation was still implemented in the South. When you have the great compromise between the Union, the Northerners, who again, were not here to do anything good for anyone who wasn't YT, but they were here trying to, make it fair for them because the South was making so much money because they had free labor. So when you have the great compromise after the Civil War, you see the Union go back up north, and then Jim Crow is implemented until the 1960s. So like, don't be disingenuous by saying like, oh, how does this still affect you? It does still affect the Black community because you had this terrorizing of the Black community until the 1960s. So like, get for real. But I think like going back and trying to change the history of it. Why isn't he talking about the H Museum that we have in America? Why doesn't he want to go in there and change some of those facts? You don't see him even worried about that. It's like he only wants to change these historical facts and take things out because they make America look bad. That's not even the real history of it. Like, we could really talk about the truth and America would look terrible. And it's not just America, it's Southern YT people. It was the YT people in the South that had to be a strategy for them to vote correctly, for them to hear dog whistles, for them to actually want to put a politician in office. Like, it's always been the same people that are the issue. And the fact that we want to sit there and act like we have to save their feelings because this is hurting their feelings, they're still among us. These racist people are still among us. The ones that carry their Confederate flags in the South. I'm from the South. I saw this. And they're like, oh, this is my heritage. Your heritage as a traitor to America? Like, what are we talking about here? So I think it's sickening to me to even see it. Also knowing that the actual history of it hasn't even been told. Like, that's the crazy part.
All right, guys, this was a great show. Thank you, Skeptic. That's very good way to close it out. We're going to start with our closing thoughts. I'm going to let our guest Velma go first. Velma, thank you so much for coming. Let us know where to find you and your closing thoughts.
Oh, you muted.
I'm over here talking by myself. Anyways, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm on TikTok. You guys can come on my live whenever you want, and it was great. I really liked it.
It was great. I would love to see you and Skeptic just get to debate. That was a really
Yeah, it was fun. Really, really fun. She's a really good debater.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Skeptic is the bomb.com. I gotta give Skeptic her flowers, even though I don't agree with her all the time. Skeptic, when we first found Skeptic, she was at 2,000-3,000. Now she got like 20,000 people. She's like,
See, but
really
that's
blowing
good
up.
to find somebody else with a different perspective, because a lot of people
Yeah.
are like, I just only want to be one-minded, and they can't be always like that.
And Skeptic, she's a good sport. Sometimes she's the only liberal or person on the left. Skeptic, I'm gonna let you go next. Don't trample on the constitutional rights, all of that.
Yes, don't let anyone trample on your constitutional rights. I'm gonna go on TikTok here in a little bit. I haven't been doing a lot of lives because I'm super busy, but I'm gonna jump on Castle's life. So if anybody wants to join over, I'll be live for a little bit and just kind of talking over a lot of the same topics. I want to say we're talking about the history that's tried to be erased. So it'll be an interesting thing to kind of go and listen in on. And yeah, it's been a good really good discussion. I appreciate everyone on the panel. Yeah, I don't really get my feelings hurt or anything. I just I'm lively like that. I'm always like this. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys for being a good sport, ladies. Mia, what's your closing thoughts, love?
My closing thoughts is this has been a really, really, really good episode. If you guys aren't following the new party, you need to follow New Party. You need to subscribe. Also, you need to follow me at It's Mia Not Maya. I'm on TikTok primarily. I am on YouTube, and I am on X. And before I finish, I think everybody should get this book, A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. This literally tells the true history of the United States, all aspects of it. And I think everybody should have this and really should read this, because this tells you exactly what happened in the United States, even mentions the various revolts as well, because a lot of people don't understand, back in the history, white people, black people, natives actually revolted against the ruling class. And a lot of people don't quite understand that. So definitely get this book and follow us.
And shout out to Mia. She's been getting reposted and retweeted by our buddy Anton Daniels, so shout out to her. Enzo, what's your closing thoughts? Oops. Okay.
So, like I always say, this was a good episode. We talked about a lot. This is a longer form episode. I like when it goes this long. We actually all get to get all of our thoughts out. Most importantly, we spoke about when it comes down to the censorship, there shouldn't be any censorship on the left and right. I call hypocrisy on that all the time, because the left, they don't, or no, I'm sorry, not hypocrisy on that. The left, I've seen these lives where people just straight up spew misinformation all the time. I've gone into these lives multiple times and debated these people, and I have the facts literally to bring everything up right up my fingertips on my computers. I have the sources and everything like that. I've been canned too many times to count, even though I have sources, when people are blatantly spewing misinformation. So for Israel, wanting to censor anything is absolutely garbage, because we all know what's going on there. The world needs to step up and stop letting them have control of all this and control of the media. And that plays into what we were just talking about with pretty much erasing history. Skeptic, you made a good point that I agree with. Why are they not doing it at the Holocaust Museum? That's one of the biggest ones in my eyes. We shouldn't be just being American. America's great. America's never did anything wrong. We should look at our past, like I said before, and teach it the correct way. The problem is with everything in the world is history is written by the victor, not the losers. And that's the problem that we have. Whoever wins is the history that is written.
Yeah.
Was great closing thoughts. Yeah, we had a lot of moments tonight where we drew the chairs closer together than apart. Let's come all our FBA. What's your closing thoughts? You just had to be a Black conservative. Now you can finally be yourself again, apolitical.
Look, I told him on that panel too. I was apolitical. You feel me? But let's be honest. Most of us Black Americans do lean more conservative values. That's a given. That's been known. All right, but I have the new party channel pinned to the top of my chat. Y'all go check them out. Also hit the notification bell so you know when they go live. Also on my end, Kamal Johnson Network, sub on YouTube, and also hit the notification bell to know when I go live and shit like that. Today was great. Oh, I loved it. I know I came in late. I'm sorry, y'all, but today was magnificent. Oh my goodness. I love that we were able to debate and have different points of views. And it also showed that, like, hey, you coons out there, it's not only just Black people just be arguing with Black people. It's all groups. We just have all thinking and opinions. And when we come together, sometimes it gets spicy. You feel what I'm saying? Second, the Mexican Velma, appreciate you for coming on here. I did always thought Velma was like Mexican on the Scooby Doo shit. I always thought that. So, all right, for sure. And
Thank you.
yeah, and you said the Democrats was stinking. That was funny. Good Lord. And,
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I like showers. That's it.
Next, the not whom or where the hell Berber name is, whatever. He was lying through his filthy ass teeth. He was saying that people in Palestine and Gaza is not getting, the kids are not getting starved out. What the hell is he talking about? You feel me? And next thing is, damn it, John, you better not send me a MAGA hat. I know I was agreeing with Enzo a lot today. You feel me? Some of y'all might think, damn, is he turning the MAGA man?
Sending you one.
Do not send me the MAGA hat. I mean, if y'all send it, I'll put it up somewhere. You feel me? But
All for president.
but what I like about today's episode, like what Nora said, it seemed like it did bring us closer together because we had opposing viewpoints, but we came to like an understanding. And I like when the panel gets a little bit spicy, but we able to collectively come together and not blow up and be at each other necks and shit like that. You know what I mean? And with that being said, like I said, go follow the new party and stuff like that. Shout out to the chat. You feel me? Except for you dickheads in the chat that was saying that bull malarkey. Some of y'all are on some horse crap. I'm telling y'all right now. All right. Some of y'all, you better watch a damn mouse in the chat. God damn.
Yo, the chat is getting more and more lit with every episode we do.
Yeah, for real.
It was crazy last night. But guys, for everyone watching, hit that notification. All right, co-founder boss, go ahead. Take it away. I don't know. It won't let me click you. Hold on.
It did before, now it won't let him.
I know.
I know.
I do it myself. Y'all don't know, but Nora complains a lot. So like, I hear everybody saying that we want it longer. If y'all want it longer, we can definitely do it longer. And I'm definitely not trying to rough too much. So, but it was definitely a good episode. It's always good when people can get along. So thank you, Velma, for coming. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Like we always say on New Party, always vote.
Hell yeah. Hey, we got to clear this up, though, man. Gray and Skeptic, y'all take showers, right?
I smell good, let me tell you.
She looks like she smells good. Great.
I work with kids. I literally work with kids. And when they like come where I'm at, they're always like, it smells so good in here. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it was just certain people that I was like, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
See, come on, the
we're
left.
just playing with you, Mom.
We don't have
No,
to
but I'm
do
for real.
like
I'm like, guys, there's
the
one.
left and skeptic. You may agree. We don't have to do petty insults. You know, we just
Oh my God.
Oh Lord,
Oh
Gray.
Lord, please
Come
stop it.
on.
That's right, Greg. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
Oh.
Oh
Yes.
Lord. So today was a good show. I mopped the floor earlier on our live, me and Gray. Shout out to everybody watching Monday through Thursday. We will be doing lunch with the new parties again at 12 noon. I'm off the floor. You know, we get stuff done. But nevertheless, shout out to the team. Thank you so much for that Mexican Velma for coming. God puts great people in your path. I met two great Mexicans, Velma and Skeptic. I'm
That's
just kidding.
right.
It's all love. But nevertheless, we have more in common than we have different, guys. And that's what the point of the new party is. So shout out to the team. Thank you guys for another great show. Enzo, Mia, Kamal, Gray, Skeptic. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that's not here from the Man Cave Show. We will be back Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's how we get down in presenting by diverse viewpoints from across America. So hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and y'all have a good night and God bless.